Okay, Vault Heads, we're just a couple of minutes away from the State of Play event that PlayStation is putting on, where we're getting a deep dive look at Borderlands 4. This is pretty exciting, so stick around and let's find out what the next generation of Borderlands is going to look like. Here we go. Oh, baby. Shh. Everyone shut up.
What use is a vault hunter? What use is a killer?
Okay, we got some nice fancy cinematics here.
A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running and gunning natural disaster. You are, in a word,
Girl got moves.
mayhem. I take that personally.
Not entirely sure on that, but I'm pretty sure the voice actor for the Timekeeper there is the same voice actor that does Torg. Forgive me, I don't remember his name, but I'm almost positive that's the guy. I definitely recognize the voice. Also did Rendane in Battleborn. Okay, we got some pets in the mix. Yeah, here's the vehicles. Now it does look like the vehicles are specific to the hunters. That seem to be all the ones we've seen with their relevant hunter. Okay, secondary use for the lasso. Ooh, boss time. Oof, that was a bit of a blast.
Heyo, I'm Randy Pitchford,
time for magic.
founder of Gearbox Entertainment. Today, we're giving you our deepest look yet at Borderlands 4. All the excitement, loot, and gnarly carnage all running on PlayStation 5 Pro.
Okay, so this is the assassin in his vehicle.
Since creating the looter-shooter genre nearly 16 years ago, we've continued to refine the formula, delivering better loot, greater freedom, and endless mayhem. And with Borderlands 4, we push things even further.
I got some good
This is
vistas.
hands down our best Borderlands ever. All new movement, abilities, bigger and badder enemies, and a brand new planet.
That's
All in
what we
service
want to
of
hear.
making you feel like a total badass.
It's
There
the
we go.
perfect entry point for new players, with incredible new places and a great story. And for our longtime Borderlands fans, we're throwing back to our more grounded tone, while pushing gameplay ahead further than ever before. This is the culmination of years of hard work from my teammates across the Gearbox studios. So enough talk, let's get it. This is Borderlands 4.
Pick a card. Yeah, good. We've got a bit more variety on the environments here, actually changing out of some of the locations that we've seen in the previous trailers. They've been quite focused in the same areas up till now.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe where life is cheap and guns are plentiful. You play as a vault hunter, a
Some
badass
skin
mercenary
variation
with
there by the
powerful
look of it.
abilities called action skills.
Today I'm playing as Vex, our new siren. She wields supernatural phase energy to devastating effect. She can use that energy to empower herself, or channel it to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
And because everything's
At
better in
class.
co-op, I'm joining as Rafa, a former TDR soldier who wears an experimental exosuit. He can digistruct an arsenal of weapons, like the razor-sharp arc knives.
These are two of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
You can play at
Borderlands 4
launch
takes
being
place on
key
Kairos,
there. That made it sound
an
like they
all-new
are
planet
intending
steeped in
more Vault
conflict.
Hunters. That is
For
critical.
thousands of years, the Timekeeper kept the planet hidden, controlling its inhabitants with bolts, cybernetic implants fused to their spines. Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally crushed by his army of synthetic soldiers known as the Order.
That is until 6 years ago when Elpis showed up.
Wonder if they can order me a
This
pizza.
rogue moon was teleported away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3 by the legendary Vault Hunter Lilith. When it reappeared across the galaxy, it crashed into the protective veil around Kairos.
What a coincidence.
The results were devastating. a planet-wide cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect order.
Now people all across Kairos have started rising up. Some even ripping out their bolts.
Break free.
And chunks of their brain along with it.
Here it comes!
That's the situation our Vault Hunters have crash-landed into. A planet ready
The
to
draw
explode,
distance is looking a
and
lot
you're the
better,
spark.
improved here. Some of the previous trailers you had some issues for
As you
long-range
explore,
vistas.
you'll meet a cast of incredible characters. Fan favorites return, like Zane and Moxie. You'll also meet new friends like Rush.
Yep, so this is the guy we've seen before.
And as always, Claptrap is along for the ride.
Yay!
Last but not least is Echo 4. This helpful drone follows you everywhere. Hacking
Okay.
order tech, scanning the environment, and helping guide you to objectives.
We have a ghost now. Not sure how I
But
feel
enough of
about
all
that.
Let's get into the game.
Nothing worse in Destiny than having to carry your little
Thanks
brother
to our
around with you
improved
all the
lobby
time.
system, it's easier than ever to join up with your friends on the
Good,
fly.
if you can join with
And
your
with
friends
full
at
crossplay
launch.
at launch, you can play with your
We
friends
had
on any
massive
platform.
problems at the start of Borderlands 3 particularly.
Today, we're venturing into
even,
Terminus
you know,
Range,
months
a
and
frigid,
months after
mountainous
launch.
region.
This is just one of the 4 zones on Kairos that you can seamlessly explore. There's next to no loading time, just endless looting and shooting mayhem.
Okay, so it does sound like there is some
For
division
our
that
current
could
mission,
be very
we
good.
need to break into a
I
secret
was
black
worried that
site
they were going to be
located
too
deep in the
ambitious with the
mountains.
openness and then
One of the
cause
Timekeeper's generals,
problems with
Vile
running and
Lictor,
quality.
has been conducting grotesque experiments on locals. It's up to us to stop it.
You love these
Alright, let's
kind of
get moving.
tailored missions in
Here I'm
reveals.
using Glide, one of our new movement abilities. Along with dash, double jump, climbing, and point grapple, these make getting around
Let's
more
see how
fun
they do.
and add a ton of utility to combat.
Everything is looking very nice and
As you
clean.
traverse, you'll uncover a vast and beautiful world. And to bring Kairos to life, we've introduced dynamic weather and events, so you constantly have new things to discover.
There's
of a
also
change
plenty
on the
of local
mantling
wildlife to
sections
contend
there.
with, like these crabs.
You often had the paint
flying beasts who attack and
in
flock.
Borderlands 3, but they just used a bit of a surface change there, texture change with the metal door. Man, I really
Here
hope
we've
this
come across
UI does
Asylum,
not look like this.
one of several new activities in Borderlands 4.
The HUD does
You'll
not look
naturally
nice.
discover short gameplay experiences like this.
Way too
all
much
across
junk going on.
Kairos. There's no need to pick up a mission first. These are auto-granted and tracked on your HUD.
Silos house old, decommissioned order tech that you can hijack for the Crimson Resistance.
With
Crimson
the help
Resistance,
of Echo 4,
okay.
we'll hack into their network and release the communications
Upgrade on
balloon.
the Crimson Raiders. Yeah, the HUD is not pleasant.
Now that we're in charge, we can fast travel to the silo. And as a bonus, it's revealed the approximate location of a vault key fragment. We can collect these fragments to unlock a hidden vault, a high-level dungeon with challenging combat and serious loot.
Ooh. That's what we like.
Let's get after it.
Gliding's a bit weird, but a bit more movement. I guess if the world is very, very expansive, you're going to want some quick ways of getting around. But Borderlands,
Another nice
baby,
thing about
no
silos
no
is
drop
you can
damage.
Zip line up and take off.
Interesting. Very Battle Royale,
And if that's not
Apexy
fast
inspired
enough for
thing.
you,
Maybe
you can always
quite a
pull
lot
out
pop
your
in there. I don't know
personal
if you saw
vehicle
those
with
assets
Digital
popping in the distance there.
Just hop on,
That
hit
was
boost,
a
and
little
give
rough.
over.
You can customize the body, paint job, and even how it handles.
And because this is Borderlands, you best believe it has guns.
As you traverse, you'll encounter a host of dynamic events. From order patrols to world bosses, there's always something to shoot and loot.
All right, we're coming up on an order outpost.
Ugh.
Let's see the new movement abilities in action.
Look at the size of these health bars. Something about that doesn't look right. I don't know if my mind is playing tricks on me, but That just seems like there's just way too much crap on top on the screen.
Chaining our new traversal abilities together.
Hopefully there will be lots of options to adjust all of that the way you
in and
want,
out of melee
sizes and everything
attacks,
else.
dodge
You would expect that in
projectiles, or quickly
2025 for
reposition
sure.
to gain an advantage.
But not great for a showpiece. For showing off your game, I feel like they should have minimized that. It's getting in way of seeing, you know, the action properly. Not sure what sort of settings this is running on as well. Things look a bit flatter, but not really, not like in a typical Borderlands way, but things look I don't know, there's a sort of funny sort of matte overlay to things in a way. Doesn't look cell shaded in the way you'd expect. I don't know what you think about the way that looks.
Now I know that there's a vault fragment around here somewhere, but we've got a mission to get back to. Let's pull out Echo 4 to show us where to go.
Something about the textures maybe a bit low. They might be running this at
We're
sort of
meeting up
lower
with
settings in
none
order
other
to
than
make sure that they get
Tyga
it running
herself,
pretty solid.
She's a former vault
But generally
exotic
doesn't
pet
look
sitter
too
for
bad.
Borderlands 3.
The frame rate here is
She
low
came to
as
Kairos
well,
in
so
search
it's
of Lilith, and is now helping us take down
not-
the Timekeeper.
not that great to see what's going on. Good to see there's quite a lot of those nodes around. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it earlier, but the node, the lasso thing there, grappling hook being used to pick up something earlier on in the little blast through
like
clips.
that unless you've got something to hide. This must be the path to the black side.
Agreed. But if Lilith is on the other side,
Oh,
I don't mind
Mara
some
looking
property
good.
destruction.
Ooh, your specialty. Please, be my guest.
That's a cool little pet.
Come, let's throw some light on this black site of his. This place is crawling with creeps. Clear them out.
Co-op has always been at the heart of Borderlands, and we put a ton of work into making it better than ever. Our improved lobby was just the start. You can also set your own campaign difficulty independently of the rest of the party. This way, everyone can tune the experience to their liking.
And you don't have to worry about loot ninjas stealing your drops, as loot is always instanced for each player. Plus, if you ever get split
Always.
up, you
That's a
can
bit of a
easily
shame that
fast
that's
travel
not
to your
optional.
friends.
That's a
And two-player
takeaway
split
from the
screen
traditional
returns so you
Borderlands
can
style.
enjoy couch co-op. Regardless of how you play, we just want you to be able to hang with your buddies and have a great time.
That's good.
What the hell is that?
Might be limitations with the PlayStation hardware. I'm not sure what it is. Something about this kind of
Everyone
looks
else heard the talking creep,
off.
right?
Tim feels
Maybe,
like
I
the
don't know, we
product
got
of
pretty low
Lictor's
FOV
twisted
here.
mind.
Like,
Another of his experiments. If he's doing this to creeps, I shudder to think what he's doing to Lilith. We need to get inside. That air vent. Let's check it out.
there's a lot going on with the soundtrack. I don't know if that's specifically in the mission
Hermes
or whether
is
they've
really creeped
jazzed
out
that
in
up a
here.
bit for
Not me, obviously. Hermes.
this showcase.
Now that we're on
But
the black side,
if
let's
that
take
is,
a moment to talk
you
about
know,
loot.
specifically done for this, and I like the effort on that
In
front.
Borderlands 4, each piece of gear comes from one of 8 manufacturers with their own characteristics and trademarks.
Really low image files on
There's
those.
Jacobs, with crit-friendly black powder weapons, the elemental expertise of Maliwan, Vladoff, who solve lower accuracy with more bullets,
And let's see if we get the bandit.
the toss to
Let's see if we get
reload
the new one.
Tediore,
Got to fill my bingo card.
or Torg with explosions. We also have 3 new ones.
Three
The
new
Order
ones.
with powerful charge and release blasts, fully auto rippers, and the reliable, easy-to-use Tasteless, which can use multiple ammo types.
Right, okay.
But that's just the start.
It's
We've
the
introduced
Daedalus
an
one
all-new
we've seen a
licensed
bit
parts
of
system. This allows for
far.
behaviors and abilities from multiple manufacturers to spawn in a single weapon. For instance, this flat-off assault rifle features a Torg mag, Hyperion shield, and a Maliwan elemental switch.
Right, that's what was
meaning it
looking
shoots
like a
fast and
bandit
explodes
style.
things. The higher the rarity, the more parts that can randomly spawn, creating wilder and wilder loot.
Good.
And that's before even
That's what
getting
we want.
into
That's the
alt
kind of
fire
systems we
modes,
needed.
underbarrels, and elemental damage.
The possibilities are truly endless.
To
That's
support
promising.
playing with your favorite manufacturer, we've added enhancements. This new type of gear replaces artifacts and provides bonuses to specific manufacturers. Take my current enhancement. It adds a kill bonus to all guns with deadless parts, along with more reload speed and critical damage.
Glide in action on the strafe there.
Favorite manufacturer, immediately turning just
Different
okay
movement,
guns
and it sort of
into
made things look a
amazing
bit slow.
Finally, we've heard your feedback, and we've overhauled our drop rates and loot across the game.
Good.
We've worked hard to make sure all our gear feels better than ever, while also making rarity matter again. This makes for our most satisfying loot chase ever. And at the top of everything are legendaries.
And that's what it's all
These
about,
have always
the
had unique
chase.
effects that you won't find on any other piece of gear. But in Borderlands 3, they drop too often. This not
Correct.
only devalued legendaries,
Correct.
it made everything feel less valuable. In our new system, not only do all guns feel great, but now legendaries will truly be special events. We've added the magic back to our loot chase. And we know
Excellent.
you'll
Good
love
work,
grinding
guys.
all that great gear on Kairos.
Ooh.
But let's get back to combat so I can show you my favorite thing, ordnance. This is the new gear slot for grenades and heavy weapons like rocket launchers.
Okay, so they've taken a Destiny third slot approach to that.
Instead of taking up a gun slot and ammo, ordnance now has cooldown timers. No more saving the big guns for boss fights. Now you can blow
Right.
stuff
Okay.
up
So
as
it's
often as
like
you
another
want.
ultimate basically. So you get your gun standard, and then you get the extra. And that's the clip we saw with the siren with the big low-handled
Before we
Gatling
go
gun
further,
in
let's talk a little
the
bit about
trailers.
action skills. Every Vault Hunter has a set of 3 unique action skills. These are class-defining abilities with devastating effects. Up until now, I'd been using Incarnate to deliver powerful phase blasts. But let's switch it up to Phase Familiar and pull out Trouble. As you can see, each action skill has its own branching skill tree, giving you more build
Not liking the
freedom than
menu
ever
system
before.
change. The
On top
UI
of
UX
passive
stuff
skills,
here is
you can
not
further
looking good
customize
at all.
action skills with augments and capstones. These are socketed enhancements that add new behaviors and functions to your action skill.
Different builds completely
But
change how
it's
combat
not the most
plays out,
important.
resulting in near endless freedom to experiment. You can swap unlock augments or capstones on the fly, or completely respec your skill trees at hubs around Kairos.
This gives us a chance to talk about traits. Each Vault Hunter has a unique passive ability called a trait. For Vex, her action skills attune to the element of her equipped weapon. So by swapping guns, I can change Trouble's damage from kinetic to shock, fire, or any other elemental type.
And also, you can pet the cat.
Oh, he's a good boy.
Dead end. Or is it? Let's see where this vent
Siren
takes
is
us.
at the moment looking like my favorite class. So that'll be my first time probably starting a Borderlands game with Siren for the first playthrough. That will be a fun difference. Flak was probably my favorite in Borderlands 3, so looks like I'm going pet class again. We could all do with more friends. The movement of this character makes me feel like they're running on the PlayStation controller, obviously.
I'm down.
But it looks like their
thankfully, our fight for your
sensitivity
life
is
mechanic makes a return.
way too low
Of
still.
course, I could have
This is
avoided
really,
it in the
really
first place if
rough
I had
movement.
Just used my ref kit. This new piece of gear provides health and other buffs, like temporarily boosting my elemental damage, rate of fire, or movement speed.
And that is a big problem, like with the other Borderlands games. The controller feel and speeds are way too low. The maximum speed is not even is barely half of what you need to be able to get, but you need ramps in there so you can control the bottom end and
By the
have
way,
fast movement
if
at
you're
the top
looking to
end.
experience the
But
story
this
again,
looks
or just grind for loot, we've
worrying
added
that
full
the
mission and boss replay.
Look how
That's
bad
right.
that camera work
No
is.
more save loading to run bosses. Now you can return to the
It's like
arena
running
and
around
use
in
Moxie's
lead
big
boots a
encore
lot of the
machine
time when
to
you're on
spawn
controller.
Another run.
Makes you feel like a
But we'll talk more about
third-class
endgame
citizen.
later. For now, let's jump ahead
boss
and show you
time.
something truly badass. In Borderlands 4, our bosses are bigger and better than ever. putting all your new skills, gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
Many hands. It's the robot equivalent of E-Honda.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Spoilers.
Nice. It's hard to get a bit of
That's
flavor
enough of
for
that
how
for
this
now.
really plays because of how they're
But
jumping
we
that
look forward
around,
to
but
showing you
that
much
definitely
more
looks
this
like it has a lot of
June at our
potential.
first hands-on gameplay event.
And from everyone at Gearbox, thank you for joining us.
Good work. Well, that's definitely making things feel a lot more real. That's definitely putting a lot more promise into the game. It's good to see good amounts of enemies on screen and good variety in the environment, getting an idea for what the skills are, and with the characters, it is definitely very, very good that they are now hinting at the idea that there may be extra Vault Hunters after launch. That's very, very important, I think, to making the game have a good life. And, you know, really, I mean, maybe they could get up to 8 Vault Hunters on this one, like, just to give us more variety as they release more content. I will definitely do a bit more of a dive on that myself, go through that with a bit more of a tooth comb and talk a lot more about all the content there. Obviously, I talked over a lot of it, so I hope that you've seen this before you've seen me talking over it. But I'll do a proper look at this in the next few days, and yeah, get that up, and we can have a look at the other trailers and this one and get a broader picture of what Borderlands 4 is going to be. But thanks very much for checking out this video. I hope you had a bit of fun. If you did, please do like and subscribe. Please do comment on this video, and I'll catch you next time, Vault Hunters. Take it easy. Peace out.